All right, just a quick 20E last multi-step question for you. So this is going to be from page 450, 20E, 2H we're going to do for reasons that will become clear soon. So it is plus 4. So the first thing that we're asked for is the axes intercepts. Pretty easy for y because we're in standard form, so y is going to be 4. We could put in 0 here and 0 here, but we don't need to. We know that we can just read it off as 4. Whoops. And so the x-axis, not so easy. So f of x is the y, so we'll just put y to be 0. The x-intercept or intercepts will be when the y is 0. So the reason that I've chosen this question is that we've got a not just x squared here, we've got a minus 3, and we'd love to simplify this if we could, if minus 3 divided into each of the 3 terms, but it doesn't. So the next best thing we can do to simplify this, to make it better to work with, is to divide minus 1. Get rid of the minus sign with the x squared term. So let's do that. Minus 1. And so now we can factor further. And another reason to pick this question is I don't think we've had too many factorable polynomials with a whole number in front of the x squared. So it's going to have to be, we don't have much of a choice here. And in terms of the two numbers that multiply together give minus 4, well, it's probably going to be plus 2 and minus 2. Does that work? So these two are going to work. Obviously, the last two are going to work. The outside are going to be minus 6, and the inside are going to be plus 2, so it's the other way around. It's going to be minus 2 and plus 2. And if you do your FOIL first outside, inside, last, you'll see that does indeed work. So it's either going to be this term, oops, or this term, which will be 0. So either 3x minus 2 equals 0, or x plus 2 equals 0. We know that one. So x could be minus 2 to get ourselves a 0, or it's this. X could be 2/3 to give us 0. So there are our x-intercepts. 2. This is an involved question. 2, they get you to find the equation of axis of symmetry. So all right. Well, the easiest way to do this is to take the original equation and use our little formula, which is minus b, whoops, minus b over 2a. And here's our a and our b and our c, so minus 4 over 2 times minus 3. So we're going to have 4 over minus 6, which is going to give us, always nice to have the negative on top, not a negative denominator, so minus 2/3 will be our axis of symmetry, which is going to be, in the next step, also our x-coordinate of our vertex, because it's going to be, what is this, upside down, this is like that. Wherever it is placed, this minus 2/3 is the axis of symmetry, close All right. And it's also should be the vertex x point. Get rid of this. So 3 gets us to do that, to find the vertex. So we're already halfway there if we have the axis of symmetry as was just described. We've got our x, looking for the vertex. So we already have our x. Since we have our x, we'll just plug our x into the original equation. So here's my original equation again. So there it is. We're going to plug in minus 2/3 to see what our y will be for the vertex. So here we go. Do the square first. Gives us minus 2 times minus 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. Now I got 4 times minus 2 is going to give us another minus 8/3. I might as well put this into thirds right now. We're going to need thirds, it looks like. So 12/3. And this will reduce to thirds immediately. Minus 4/3, there we go, plus 8/3 plus 12/3. So 20/3 minus 4/3, y is going to be 16/3. So our vertex is going to be minus 2/3 and now 16/3. And I suppose we could put that into minus 2/3 and 5 and 1/3. There's your vertex. And what's next? Hence, sketch the graph of the function. So, number 4, graph or sketch function. Okay, so what do we got? We've got the vertex, and we got the y-intercept and the x-intercepts. And I'm just going to remind myself what they each are. 4, 2/3 minus 2. And that's enough. That's enough. So let's start with the vertex. Vertex minus 2/3, 5 1/3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right around here. Our y-intercept is 4. These aren't very evenly spaced, but 4 should be around there. And then our x's, 2/3 and minus 2. Minus 2 is there, 2/3 around there. And we do know, well, we can see that it's going downward, but we should know from the beginning with the minus sign that it is going downward. So I'll do my best on this iPad. Not bad. Okay, there we go. There is a sketch, roughly, of this function. So that's a pretty darn good question for this chapter, combining a whole bunch of stuff, hint, hint. So take a good look at it, lots of good stuff there. Altogether seems a little daunting, but each individual step does make sense.